Sorry. Okay. Welcome back to No TV Canada here in Gatineau, Quebec. I am just a YouTube channel while I'm still here. So, yeah, I said I was going to read book 3 to the series, the old original series. That's the first self-published books. Book 1, which I sent to the Smallville Reunion TV set as a gift to Tom. It was like season 8, before I was pregnant with my second daughter, Sarah, when my body was beautiful, but I was still young and healthy. Anyways, the point is, it was around the passing of Heath Ledger, and I just knew what was wrong with the show and the character and what Clark needed. So I want to put this part of my history of my work sort of behind me and move forward with the new stuff. And so I'm just, for posterity reasons, reading all of the books. And this one I just did yesterday. I guess a personal shout out to Tom, I guess. Sort of disappointing because of how much fun there would have been in the show and other contexts of stage performances that could have been done, and other stuff around this with his also playing guitar, which I didn't know about, which surprised me. I think the first time I saw that was on Lucifer. Anyway, I just have new stuff coming, and I want to do this stuff and get it out of the way. Now, this book is pretty big. And this one's sort of a dedication to Jaren and Evan Lowenstein. Now, Jaren, if you don't like your picture being on the back of the book, I don't mind. If you ask me to take you down from here, it's fine. But I think I did pretty good. I picked a pretty decent picture. You came into the picture like a work of art. Yeah, it's a good thing. One kiss is worth 1,000 words. Anyways, that was like in our 30s, so it was a while ago. And there's a poem inside here for Evan. And so, yeah, that was the girl, right? So this is probably going to take 2 segments, 2 videos. So this will be video 1 because I have a renter and she comes and goes. And so when she comes, usually I'll end it. So this one's called 5 years ago in June. I guess it's sort of like a confession, whatever. During my heaviest, darkest times of difficult issues, I had a friend I spent some time with in that world. Everybody has partners in this stuff. I think for sure that he was likely passed away from all of it. So I have a dedicated RIP section in here, although I don't have 100% confirmation because nobody in his family ever confirmed or denied anything. They don't really talk to me. They didn't talk to him. But I'm going to share the book the way it is. The first one's called Welfare Day. And before I get started, I just want to say I will be going back to Vancouver for the end of March. And when I'm there, I'm going to be recording all of this stuff individually. I might do it individually on here as well. But just for now, I just want to do a full video of reading the whole book. So that'll be part of the project with the touring that comes ahead for me. Because I have Vortex of Energy dedicated to Val Kilmer and my friend that passed away that brought me back to Quebec, and her Celebration of Life book. And plus I have the 8 Mile 2 books. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books to be choosing work from. Plus I have the new Passing Thoughts book where I write stuff between 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. and New Beginnings. So there is multiple things I can choose from to work with on my touring when I do my readings and stuff. It's not just going to be strictly these 3 books. So keep your eyes tuned for all of that stuff and updates coming to new websites that are coming. That's why I haven't changed the futureproductionsonline.com website much, because I'm working with people to get proper websites in order to have the additional stuff added to the new sites then. So without any further ado, let's go. First poem called Welfare Day. Living in a dizzy array, there's so much on display. All the shelters where I've stayed, so much can be said about all the people, the ones I've come to know. Their stories shared along their paths towards improvements. Money spent, sometimes it's clear what that's meant. Some event. No place to rent, they're hard to find. Nothing's for a dime. Something to afford? No more need be said. Bed bugs, a riot, they're everywhere. So not just anything will do after just one has bit you. Beware of what else might get you, despite what you're trying to do. It's nothing new, so it's been said 1,000 times before, knowing what's in store. But hard times don't mean the end, especially when you've got some friends. A show of strength, one's fortitude, a determination to get through to someplace better, someplace new. A room with a view, something good has come your way. This time around, finally, on Welfare Day. A room with a view is a good thing. I have been fortunate enough sometimes to have some good views. I had, right now, my apartment in the downtown east side overlooks the North Vancouver area and the ocean. There, the longshoremen areas and Crab Park is close by, and I have these stunning new buildings that change color at night because you got old neighborhood and new money trying to live in the same area. A huge, old-fashioned, massive balcony. Uh, so it'd be my wish to become successful enough to own Bloom, so I can make that place bloom and do what I want to help people that live in there. Some people are in there like till they pass away. They don't have a choice of living anywhere else because the system is set up to cause people to fail or not be able to get any further. And the amounts of money people get and disability and welfare benefits stay the same for very long periods of time while the economy, everything else changes to a point where you have to choose between hydro 1 month, rent 1 month, laundry 1 month. It's really bad. So the next one's called Templehead. Some of the stuff I've tried dating through the years. So this one is July 8th, 2008. Templehead. Krista and Kirsten, Sarah and Jane, Jackie and Blaine, Paul are insane. No need to be told, too old to scold. Divorcing a future that left 6 winters old, driving a truck alone, going home, with no place left to live, divorcing religions. Templehead. Not knowing where to go to practice what you want to do, right, with life, because there's bad people everywhere, so nothing feels right. Seashells, June 10th, 2010. I'm not sure what going door to door has to do with the pain in my life that 24 hours a day can't make go away. Walking around on the earth where we dwell, feeling emptiness that time cannot fill, marching along 2 by 2 as soldiers do, never having a chest to lay my head on to rest, while sharing the word, as many have heard, about a promise to live in a world of good where pain and sickness will be no more. As I shake inside, waiting to realize an experience that 66 books can't give me, though I remain true to the truth of the words they bear, as I live each day working towards a freedom that for me waits upside down in Australia. So I was thinking of Heath Ledger there and the conflict of being born a Jehovah's Witness and how standing outside with the cardboards or walking around in service, knocking on doors, doesn't fill the void in your heart when you're missing a partner, a husband, and you've been pulled apart, raped, wrecked, ruined by the world and society around you, trying to promise something to people you can't give them, and you don't have these needs met in your own life. So it's a big struggle. I'm wanting to go to Australia to, maybe find some peace and solace, recovery, and go visit Heath, perform down there or something. This all could still happen. Part 2, the next page. Same piece. The water swirls the other way in a toilet bowl. I wait to look into, so I can take a walk with a guy down a road alone to find an ending long overdue in my life that I've been ripped off from having. The freedom of my life compromised because of injustice that I've struggled my way through, leaving a place I long since stopped wanting to return to. My skin cannot graph onto you how walking those old haunted stomping grounds makes me feel. For the time you were never there, meant to be shared with you, as I cried and threw rocks at walls, divorcing buildings and bedrooms I'd like to burn to the ground, and all the things I'd like to see turned to ashes, so that I don't have to live in purgatory because of how sensitive the topic is, that my quiet heart will not live in a lie around others anymore. I'm not so sure what going door to door has to do with the pain, my life, walking around on the earth where we dwell, feeling an emptiness that time cannot fill, marching 2 by 2 as soldiers do. The most important kiss of my life was one that never got finished. Time heals all wounds except for the ones in the heart. Never could figure out what people like about beer. Junkie prayer. Life is a junkie and a working girl. Getting too high to run from what's missing inside, to believe in the God of the sky, but follow the one that fills you with fun. the pleasurable poisons that run through our veins, and the high that's never ending sent to our brains. For every flame and every flicker, for every toke that was it that we exhale, the abandonment from the hit and miss. Oh, I hated abscesses. A lost lover, a first kiss. I tried to get so good I didn't miss often. In a world of culture we know is fix, far too gone to understanding the ultimate end of what God wants for us all. Undesirable words in the end about our trials in life as we cut another piece to get us through. Another moment's time with me and you as victims in this historical masterpiece that we don't understand behind God's rule of commands as we take our place in yet another food line, trying to hang on to our state of mind. Is the Bible really kind? For when we can find the time to read what we don't see available, for where the truth is never looking for us. So we wander the city streets through each day of our junky ways with little to say because the greatest miracle, which holds the answers, may never come our way. So enjoy our sinful freedoms, as sad as our choices are to others, so it may seem. It could be the blessing in disguise to cover us from what we're not to blame for how little we really know since we started down that path, too far gone to change the damage that keeps us in the cycle, denied the God that we should know, so take things one day at a time, that's all we can do. And I'll pray for all our souls and how far we have to go on my sober stretch. With the words that I can't find to write for all of us, with the words that I can. Oh, no, it does say the words that I can't find. This makes sense. To write for all of us. Maybe it's a typo. Like life as we know it, that's all we've got each day to enjoy in our only treasure of the pleasures that we've sought, and maybe a flicker of hope or a thought might come to mind to change you in a sobering moment too, to try and do better and find what answers our souls haven't known or discovered from being lost without direction, to find salvation in the end through something as small as a prayer when the moment's made clear that you're feeling something wholly near, like the kiss of your child before putting them to bed and tucking them under their covers, or the sound of music with words that fill your heart just right. And what you need can't escape you for the first time in your life, finding a way to live it right, staying clean. I am talking about on my sober stretch with the words that I can find. I don't know how the word can't fit in there. Anyways, the next one's called God Song. It's not mine. I don't claim any rights to this. It was an anonymous piece, so I put anonymous in the book. And it has like E and B in the corner for the notes. I have a father, he calls me his own. Before even time began, my life was in his hands. He knows my name, he knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls and hears me when I call. Cremate me, July 8th, 2008. Cremate me and scatter some of my ashes in the sea and bury a small little urn in the ground of my grandpa's grave in Victoria, BC. I don't want to witness 1,000 years of this future grow old. I deserved better than this, as the clock struck midnight, losing the right kiss, divorcing Januaries. May 30th, 2011, 6 years. It's been a waste of 6 years. 6 years I didn't have to be crying. 6 years I could have been lying in your arms. 6 years I didn't have to be alone. 6 years of time there's no return for. Loneliness and an empty heart because you failed to do your part. Because you failed to take your place in my life. I have to walk around feeling this way for the rest of my life because only you could have filled it before the baby came along. Now there's nothing left to do except to sleep around on you because at least I wouldn't have to be alone. No matter the cost of the dignity or pride, at least I can look into someone's eyes. Having someone there by my side for the years I just lost living without you. 6 years. I'd hate to think of Tom's reaction in any character he's playing himself, Rob Metzler, Charlie Clark, about that guy in the poem I just read. Oh, because from the feet up, the two of them, like it's almost identical. It's madness. King George. Thumbs. I love this one. This is in dedication to someone from Winnipeg that helped inspire me to pick up the pen and start writing again. So I'm grateful for that time I had with him in my life. Thumbs. Ever stare at the wrinkles on your thumbs? I do every time I look at mine. It's incredible. The match, the way you saturate me. Your hands are so strong, I love them, for knowing what flows through them. Holding on means never letting go. You use them strategically. When it's time, they know what to do. There's no hesitation. Once they know what they want to grab onto, lucky is the girl who feels the experience. But does she know what to give back when you're holding her like that? I won't share what I know. Those actions are mine, and the pictures will stay in my mind when I think of you. As I lay alone in bed, I smile for what I know because the feelings inside are wonderful. It keeps you a part of me, a way of living on with history without disturbing that life again. That loss is mine to get over as life is lived. It's the price I pay for this gift. I won't stop writing what I want. My hands like to be hard at work, building a mystery of what time left there. Hands understand the elements, like the surprise that hides behind the eyes. Before the gift of what's in them is given, I see yours and feel them in almost everything I do. These aged hands tell the story of when I was there, like that first window I didn't ever want to revisit that I ever saw you through. I was 16, he was 19, 18, 2 years older. Ah, when we were both young and realizing now that what he did was premeditated, something his cousin did. Before the thought of wrinkles was ever our concern, I lost before I ever had a chance. Knowing life in the way I always wanted to. Yeah, I didn't have any choice. Choice was taken from me. And so it goes. That's when these aged hands of mine, meant to show their grace, to change the look on your face, when the palms of my hands and the tips of my fingers never reached the skin of your perfect face because of the distance and who stood between us, standing on the corner by the tree. Do you remember me? At 16, I never thought that that was my moment. I believed in taking things slow. I believed in time, tick-tock, that never came through because of how much more the devil and God already knew. Hands hold on to things like that, no matter how many years forward you've moved, sharing what lives, sharing what lives of what time could never arrest, and what I now do, since I learned that happiness is a point of view. Told in our hands through what we do, like the very first time I ever saw you. Hands, they weather the storms of our lies and truths, what our minds and our hearts can't always display. The hands find a way to betray. When it's time for things to be revealed, mine now take the wheel as I travel the miles that work lays out before me and write away the words, old feelings, what my hands to this day have never found anyone to show. So I love your hands for what I see they've said, for what I know they've never were, for where I know they've never been. Just imagine, TikTok, as you stop to look at them. It's hard to believe. Life's that deep, and because of that, I'll always treasure what mine tell me as I put back on my thumb ring. I'm a stranger. I love your hands. So at that time, what got me curious about him and where I was standing was a place that he was living in with his family before his mom moved from there. He had had a girlfriend moving in, so young still, and she cheated on him after he took her in. And they're just teenagers still, basically, just young adults. And he threw her stuff out the window and threw her out of the house. So in rebound mode, obviously, having another girl come into your life was not an ideal situation. And also being young, right? And I had huge issues. And lots of guys who've never had to deal with women who've been abused like me, it's difficult for them to figure out, how do you care for somebody like this? What do you do? They're not counselors, they're not trained in psychology. What are the steps, the processes? How do you care for somebody? What steps of caring do you give them? And he wasn't in a position to be able to do that, but he did do a few good things for me a few times. And I'm grateful he did that because he gave me the strength to be able to continue to persevere through the long suffering. And the long suffering resulted in beautiful books of poetry that I am grateful that I got to write and I'm now sharing with all of you. The next one, smiling on the outside. No such thing as happy endings, just bittersweet divisions, smiling on the outside, dancing in the streets. I think people feel me do that all the time. Hurting for the time you can never have again. Raised without religion. To this I do confess, some believe in God. They don't finish school. A lot feel like fools and leave home when they're young. Parents no longer know what to teach them, for they themselves were not told. So their jobs are merely done. As we learn to run, to wander the streets in view of the chaos, we become a part of the crowds, not sure what to think about the lot we've been given in this life. Picking up the pipe changes everything, all right. The boredom overtook us as we wrestled days without sleep, just understanding that we need bright and talented, but smashed on booze. Coke cracked down with speed, something to appeal to our energy. For the moment, it's what we need. Not sure what the next meal will come from. No comfort and love for our hurts, starting out so beautiful, 10 fingers, 10 toes. The never-ending glories of the life that's about to unfold. But how? But now, how do we turn it around? From the moment our feet hit the ground, how do we turn it around and get the hopeless age to see that the answers lie in Jesus for everything that we need? Take a moment's time to reflect in God divine, to read one holy passage and learn its message for me and you, and to try to digest what it means. In order to make a difference in things, each little message has something inside for all of us to help in times of need as we live through each day, down but not out. How do you turn it around? Get lost generations to believe so much more can be given them in the life that stands before them. So I sit here and write and ponder in this life, another day, another night, living it for real. Fitting right in with this whirlwind of addiction and its afflictions, for the places I cannot roam, for the places I call home, just like everyone around me. May the wrongs be made right as we struggle in the twilight of the challenges that are laid out before us, being raised without religion. To my God and Jesus, these words I do write. May something good come our way soon. Every day we stand and fight, just trying to get it right. I do believe, I do believe. To this I do confess. So I write that from the perspective of somebody that was raised and taught by God, having a foundation to begin with as a child while all of this terrible stuff was happening in my life. And then being outside in the world with all these people at night on the streets, everywhere, travel to and see people not have that benefit, not no knowledge, and have been taught very little, and today like nothing. People actually have never read the Bible and know nothing about the stories in there. So the impact on me, looking at how fortunate I was that in spite of all the suffering I myself was going through, that I still knew I had God, that I knew he was there, and that it was a higher power with a name rather than just a 12-step program during those times, and that he had that love and compassion and patience in waiting for me to grow up and mature and pick up the Bible and start reading it again and change. And boy, when I started reading scriptures again, and I got so hungry that one addiction just switched for the other addiction, and Jesus got, hang on, and just reeled it in. At 17 years passed, and I'm studying the same Bible. And it's like, 2 English degrees and a law degree later, whatever, you got your PhD in that, and poof, a whole different world, maturity, life, these struggles and constant rebounds and lifestyle change. You have this new outlook and ability to pass it and move on. And it was quite amazing for me. I had been told by people in gangs in those years, you have what it takes to make it, to be something bigger, better, and more. What are you doing down here with us? So there was a lot of love out there. I got more love from people out there in the streets in my life than anywhere else. Inside of any steeples, hospitals, wherever, they were the family. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to share this stuff with you guys, because I wouldn't have made it. That people could see that with me, and I had no idea what they're talking about then. But I look back on it now and I'm like, wow, like, how did he know that? How is he right? And it was really cool, incredible. So this is from the rest in peace section of the book for that guy. His name is Danny. No, not the ex that I divorced like 20,000 years ago. So this one's called Danny. It's so embarrassing to miss someone you believed thought so little of you, or so it seemed at the time. But understanding now, as I look back upon it all, eases my mind over the friendship made clear once we ran free away from the cage, the place where we both should have stayed, in order to have never lost touch. All those childhood feelings haunting me today. How would life feel if that bus ride had never separated you from me? All those childhood feelings, trying to find a way to stay, trying to find a new way of looking at life each day, praying for sanity, crying over the irony, as no one's arms continue to hold bodies that go to bed alone, at least back then. As the whole world's love denies you, or at least that's the way it feels. When there's nothing to grab onto for real, it's you inside who stands beside me, who understands the need that high inside me. Quietly, people are dying on their own, no one to phone in the wee hours of the night to be laughing at your jokes, and the stories that you tell mesmerize me. With your words, reducing the pain. Life doesn't have to be that way. The light of your life shining upon me, shining a glory of moment that's mine to share, knowing you're there, my soul no longer dying. Because it's you inside me who stands beside me, who understands that need, that high inside me. Now we get by with those histories tried, and that love still real, a connection that time could not subside as I wonder what happened. A friendship that no amount of violence or time can be denied. All those childhood feelings haunting me today. How would life be if that bus ride had never separated you from me? All those childhood feelings trying to find a way, a better way to look upon life each new day, praying for sanity, crying over the irony that need for a fix. Another great big hit never goes away. You're the one keeping it at bay as I wipe away two teardrops that fall one beneath each eye, never getting over that final episode. What I never thought would be the last time I looked in your eyes. Never getting over the constant need to die when you're so beautiful and all the friendship that I needled to have things be the way they should be. It can't be denied what two people hold inside. Just wish you were here as I write a moment's thought of who you are to me, loving you, Danny, for loving me away, needling it. It will always be you and me, for all we long to have inside our empty and distorted lives, for what went wrong in terms of youth and the choices we never had the opportunity to make, praying for sanity, crying over the irony. That's the way it will always be. All those childhood feelings haunting me today. How would life be if that boss ride had never separated you from me? So if anybody knows anything about life on the streets, you should always know one of the safe rules is to never use alone. Always have a partner. And sometimes you have one that lasts a long time. Other times you have to go through a few, maybe through separation, death, whatever. In my lifetime, I went through 5. He was my first. And the point is, everybody always wants one of the two persons to get it better, right? Don't do as I do, just do as I say. But we had 2 different journeys in that world. And I guess separately, we both had active, hard histories, but of different kind. And I guess when I left Vancouver that time on the bus, thought I was coming back. Part of him was like, well, don't come back, right? And then part of him was like, oh, I miss her. But we were bad for each other, right? Because the situation's bad, right? So it's sad when you don't see the other person again. But when you look at it many years later, you realize what the gift was in that situation of when you don't say goodbye, but you know it is. So the next one's called Beautiful Poetry. This is, I guess, sort of, that version of Where's Mr. Right? It starts off being for somebody inspirationally, and then it just becomes a part of who you're still looking for. fantasy. Um, but it's not, because it's there, right? Beautiful poetry. I want to push you up against the wall and pound my hands against your chest and showing you how much you're missed as I rush forward for your kiss. So many years of hunger living between lips to never understand what we both missed. Our hearts at an age that were left at a standstill because of the view I wanted you to see when you looked at me. A whole new hope and glory in how to look at life. But that moment passed us both by through an uncharted course that wasn't foreseen. Religion. Paradise in the Bible, what does it mean? The shine in my smile and the twinkle in your eyes, and Trinity to look at each other as long as is a long time to walk the world over side by side, never growing older. When we're together, age stands still, holding hands, the sweat in your palms for a grip so strong, knowing we can't go wrong, dancing in the summer heat in the middle of the day on a busy city street as we laugh at their smiles before holding each other. Our bodies really close, the warmth there, oh so very real. I make it a habit to never get that close, for it always ends in abuse, so I never saw use. Maybe that was wrong when it came to you, for you are all there ever needed to be. So here I now stand marred, knowing there's nothing to compare to the love that lives in you. Now my imagination runs wild as I dare to vision where your hand falls as a small gasp of air takes me there. My head tilts back in the light, falling quiet, mystified by the surprise that your hand knows what to do. Strange to me as I do the only thing I can do, and that is love myself in you. As I discover a whole new way to feel, my body uncovered what should have been discovered so many years ago between sheets, something so strong to hold that it leaves one without breath because it cannot be explained with words. The pain suddenly drives me insane, and I cry within for this which no man has learned to touch. All the confusion that's now suddenly in the way for the years gone past that speaks for themselves as my body swells for you, hands to find me and finally get lost in the sin. Where have I been? Too many years suffered at the wrong hands. I quake and shake and want to cry for these feelings my body and skin aren't used to. Wonderful sensations, rushing highs. This time for me, a real surprise. Not knowing how to deal with the way you make me feel. Something removed from me for so long. Just imagine what the difference would be today if either one of us had known how to let go and give what we had to each other as I held on through an unfinished kiss. Incredible lover, for the girl who sets your heart on fire. What a way to come to feel without you near me here today. I won't sleep well now, as these words finish being panned without your pillow talk or nakedness here. All I can do is let it burn as each day passes by, that you live in that part of me. There will never be another you, another friendship like this, one that does do what belongs only to you. No matter the years or distance you choose to leave between us, only time can deliver through that day when we stand before each other again and our eyes finally meet and share in the ending of a kiss you started, heaven here on earth. For what in that moment will be conquered as nothing stands in the way of the future of what that means, closure. So starting off inspired by this first using partner and then ending up with whoever the person will be that kisses me for closure. So I'm happy for the inspiration to be able to write this stuff. That poem is also in the book I read yesterday, but because this is dedicated, this section specifically is dedicated to Danny, I put it in this book but he was the original inspiration behind that. Okay, so this one's called Drink Alone. I clink my glasses, I drink alone. I laugh, ha ha, at the war of wages and the stages of life that I see aren't nice. No one's strong enough to be in my life, to take the stand my life demands. The price you pay to win first place for what they won't listen to from me when I speak, no matter what I say is true. It's the curse of being blue, the difference between us and what we do. I clink my glasses, I drink alone. I sit before you, judged with an empty view. I know not what to do. I don't want to be a part of this mess, but I haven't the strength to change what's due. So I drink for two, sad over where you're not and what I can't do. The future doesn't look so nice, divorcing the feeling of the ring in my mind and once upon a time that I felt bold on your finger. It sings, I'm missing you, leaving me to wonder about what you'd say to me if we weren't already family. And a moment like that, if it could have happened at a time that fit both our realities. So I sit here divorced of the feelings of where my life isn't leading, stuck in a realm with an honesty I know that only you complete a dance shared, my feet in your toes, over a moment's time, my feet on your toes, shoe to shoe, over a moment's time that can't be compared. Paradise, what's that? For what we've been denied. How do we get by over what we can't ignore? So I just keep fighting it back. You, the one who mastered my act. The trouble my life always led me in, and you alone always being the one to chase it down without ever asking where I had been, because you knew it was trouble. It was sin I was in. Always playing double by the look in your face and the shine not in your eyes, for the love torn from both our lives. Let's not, life's not been that kind, leaving us staring out of windows, all there is to view, life on the earth living without you. So I clink my glasses and drink alone and laugh at the difference of our understandings and what we shared when we were just old enough to know drinks for two. We got on the bus. I had 2 Greyhound tickets bought for me. They had special buy one, bring a partner. And I had another friend bought me these tickets to send me to Vancouver from Winnipeg at 19 because I was just dying to get out of the city where all of the biggest parts of the abuse and trauma had started. And I needed to just, be free, find myself. So what do you call it? Damage control. And Vancouver is the only place to go with those kind of backgrounds. And Danny was willing to come with me. He sacrificed leaving the woman, the young girl who just had his son, firstborn child. And he chose me to go to Vancouver with because he had had the experience and knew how to help me to make sure I would be safe as I ventured further along into that world of using. And so he did. He kept me safe. He taught me. I hope he did get back to go see his son. But yeah, life is what it is. Next piece is called Snow Angel. I was just thinking about a Snow Angel episode with Clark in my head the other day when I was walking with Myra. Snow Angel. I'm tired of always being the one to do all the walking. Come find me on my hillside so we can holler and scream, kick off our shoes, and fight for good times beneath the light of the Lord on his earth. I'm not a door-to-door walker, holiday stalker, just a talker with friendly advice and love in a world of ice. I made a snow angel today. I've got nowhere to be and evil divorces me, so I'm stuck on a hill with no one to kill. For the battle's the Lord's, not mine, and there's nothing I can do to change it. There's nothing I can do but stand by and watch. No way of seeking after that pleasure after being denied all of life's treasures, that joy, that happiness, that time of solitude with someone who knows how to treat me just right in all the times of good and bad, peace and strife that exists everywhere. All I can do is feel you and write these words for never making it there. My station is clear. My life is danger for what I think. The innocent excitement is gone, and we only have the words of God to which we can get by on. It's the only place where we can find the strength we need in these trying times in order to live. When it comes to life in the place where I sit, I see how we're all trapped in a system from which we cannot run. So I sit alone, full of thoughts, trying to understand God's forever. Each day, the light of the sun or the cloudy cast constantly reminds me of the Bible's clock forecast. You can't change my spiritual battery, though evil does try. But my tears remove me from that sin, attacking what I've never been. Jerusalem and me, that's all there is to see. But it's nowhere I can get because of how large this war is. Who's wrong and who's right in this holy declaration? Hear, oh Father, the words of my heart. My prayers are never-ending cries for forgiveness for my weaknesses and strife, and everything I understand is right. You alone are the only one who can understand my plight, the eternal prison I suffer living in. My reason for silence, it's all about control, the weaker sex in religion, and who fares well when no one listens. Only time can tell. Farewell, my driver for forever, the one who can't get me there because the spell behind it all has sent us packing in different directions of distraction. So all I have is faith. Each day your sun comes out and shines at the back of me because of the psychology behind how to find the right forever minds. You want living with where you want living, whether it suits the timing you sought or not. For your message to be delivered, I'm lost without being me and forcing my soul to be something that for me is old, hurts even my daughter, and the life she has the right to know. Watching what's being denied, only my words can convey. I don't know where I went wrong, and I don't know how we can fix it. The difference of our relationship in all of this. Man stands marred. I can't stand the way I feel after the holy judgment that took place. Well, what fell upon my body and left me here to live. You, my God, have a job that's abundantly clear, and I got torn apart in the middle of my fantasies, worse off now than where I would be. For you to approve me, is it my fault I'm denied my adults? I stand alone in this sickness, and I can't hold your hand or visit the Holy Lands. There's not enough strength to get me through as I sit at home being with you. I want nothing to do with the battle I see on the earth, for everything I see it hurts. There's a lot of people I would love to have know you the way I do. Divorced from life doesn't feel nice. When I talk to people and hear their words, it saddens my heart for what it means man's lost. The life they were meant to be living. So how do I go on? Find a way to do right by this all, to dance with the right guy, stand on his toes, a feeling of reassurance because his heart knows which way to sway and dip me so I can laugh and giggle at the feelings made clear about the company here trying to be holy in a land without spirit. So hard to do, living this way before you, the cloud beneath you, the summer I lost Danny. China doll. China doll, listen to the world, China doll. That's your call, China doll. Walk the city streets, listen to the sound of its heartbeat. Never aching for comfort, with witness to them all about the paradise that lives in you right now, China doll. Because that's where you found your place in the world, where you belong amongst it all, China doll. Eminem would get that. Working on it, Em. I'm coming for you. Or I'm going to get you come here. We're going to do this in Canada because this is where 8 Mile 2 is. Dope lovers. Danny in a summer dress let's try this again. Danny in a summer dress. To this I do confess. Danny in a summer dress. A night in your arms, whispering sweet nothings in my ear. Your charms hard at work. Just one little squirt. The glossy shine in my eyes. In the eyes hits us both at the same time, looking at each other, everything uncovered, our bodies climax together. Dope lovers. Walk on. Somewhere deep down inside your heart, just know how much it's been made clear to me that I'm loving your heart all the way through. Walk on, walk on, walk on. How many nights have we both spent alone, our hands behind our heads, nobody to phone? And as I forge a new path with what it is I want to do, just know I'm indeed loving you and care for the family as if I were right there so I can know my love for them lives on inside of you. In some way, my love lives with them too. Walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on. So in my life on the streets, it's one of the only families that sort of adopted me in. But in that struggle of that world of young people out there in the streets, stuff happens. And it made it impossible for me to be around the family because I had no way of confessing or talking about what happened. There was no way of getting help. So anyway, he would have never been able to be anything intimate or romantic anyway. So it's like family, big brother, never had. That other guy in the story in this book was also his cousin. They were cousins. I mean, half brothers even. I think the father went from one of the sisters, Aboriginals, and then made a child with another sister. It's like getting married. So it's complicated. So, my dearest loving friend, until the very end, know how much I've come to realize how important your friendship meant to me, right down to that very time I never thought would be the last time I would look into your eyes. Remember them now so clear, what I saw living in them right then, and for that you will indeed always be in a fond place in memory, wherever we both may be. Walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on. Dictionary definition: family, household, closest relatives, race, tribes, group, ancestry, clan, descendants, forebears, genealogy, genre, heirs, house, kindred, folk, kinsfolk, lineage, pedigree, progeny, relations, relationships, and incest. It's just another part of the RIP section of the book. Hello and goodbye. Whether it was hello or whether it was goodbye, that kiss wanted to happen. Tell me I lie. When I think it over, I can't stand what was lost. A truth established between us, no fights. I would have been released from the dreams. I could have lived in the world again because I would have my sanity. Too young to think it over, no one to listen. The night I was raped of that life. When your cousin forced me to have sex, trying to get me pregnant so he could win the fight. You won't win the girl, he said, as I was held against the bed. I'm trying to do the right thing. That's why I had to let you know. Hold on to what you've got. I want you to be happy with what you have. It's not your fault I'm sad. I don't want to feel that kiss. I don't want to miss what I already know. That's how the story goes. Tell me I lie as I cry and say goodbye. The feelings were real. I played by your rules. I could only be with one of you. I lost a lot that night. The rest of my life. I can't be with anybody now. I have to fight first to get well, seeking out my therapy so I can learn to live again with the years I have left. When once again I know I'm sane after finally understanding who's to blame. The game played was at my expense. I deserve better, and that's what I'll get. That's what I have to learn, how to feel, to be happy in a way that belongs to me, to know what healthy feels like before I die. It's not easy as I fight not to use. I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm sorry for wanting that. I'm sorry for coming back. I can't change what made me crumble. I'm trying to back off, shut down the disturbing thoughts. I'm trying to let go of the hope. I know it's the right thing to do. We're different people now. It's so agonizing as the tears stream down my face, having to accept that we live in different dimensions. I'm me, and that's who I should want to be. So that's what I'm working on. I'm not ordinary, and I never will be. You don't know me, and you're not supposed to, at least not anymore. My mind went to pieces. My body was broken, and I've lived out the wrong sentence. But in what I've now done, I know I finally won the justice that I need in telling the truth and letting you know forgiveness is in the understanding. So yeah, the two cousins didn't know what the third cousin did. Anyway. Gambler's Game. Standing on the corner of Dufferin and Main, or under the bridge on Higgins again, selling your love to the highest bidder in a gambler's game where the stakes are your life, but the next trick who buys you could be the one who's packing the knife. You wonder how you got there. You wonder how long you'll stay. You remember back to that promise of when you swore you'd never make a living this way. You wonder if you told yourself that with what you've already been through, that this would actually be funny, part-time work for full-time money. You thought you might as well get something out of this too, instead of them always just taking it from you. Your body has become so accustomed to this that you're hardly even aware of how often you keep getting stoned so as to not remember how much you hate both doing this and how it happened that you got to be there. Few are so lucky as the ones who break away, for most will still be out there just as long as men will pay. Eyes Wide Shut. This is dealing with the spectrum, KGB, LGBT, and so on. I never get the letters right. My personal family issues. Eyes wide shut. Eyes wide shut in front of you. Which one do you masturbate to? Mama 1 or Mama 2? Living as a human sacrifice. Transgendered. Wearing a dress, high heels, lipstick. Driving a taxi cab. Mama 2, have I said enough about you? Watching which ones turn mommy on as the silence of the oncoming view raped me right in front of you. For what? To both is overdue. Never learning how to use your own body parts. Mama 1, such wonderful taste you had in men. As I sit here, think back and remember the hatchet job of what growing up with you in Winnipeg was like. So nice. Daughter see, daughter do. I never had a choice being raised by you, growing up always wanting someone on my side. I'd look at them, strangers, and say, do you believe me? I became a hooker because of you. Eyes wide shut. Bowl of jello. I see a whirl of criticism in the bowl of jello in front of me, knee deep on the bed while my daughter sleeps. What do I put in my stomach as I wait for the aches and pains to stop? This is the big piece, the bonus piece. It's the title piece coming up. 5 years ago in June. 5 years ago in June, I was heterosexual, but I've yet to land the hand of the man who steals the water that pours from my self-managed vessel. It was a perfect summer for a heat wave of love that has lasted until November every year since then. What does love have to do with good timing? Nothing comes from nothing. So something had to happen for me to find a way to iterate the words of the experience that lives in every butterfly moment that I survived the heat wave of my self-managed vessel, remembering 5 years ago in June. I guess that's what an ex-girlfriend is for. It's cheaper than a divorce, and it's risk management for the storm that wears itself in your history as you look toward tomorrow and next week and the next girl you meet who wants to kiss the lips that good summer. He missed his chance to climb the fire escape and enter your room through the window of your heart and give you the love of your dreams as your inner life's fulfillment lives up to its real heterosexual world that poured from my self-managed vessel 5 years ago in June. Charlie Baker, can we make a movie together now? I'm going on a book tour, honey. Your mom is taking me. I don't have the Charlie Baker ring. I had the Tom Baker in New York. The Quiet Contender. This is for Evan Lowenstein. God, I wish I could have met them when I was 17. My life would have been so much better. Quiet Contender for Evan. I'm just the girl that never breathes a word about how she feels over what she sees. I just sit and admire you from across the room. Every time I see you in one, my eyes blink, holding back what I think, hoping it stays that way, that you never notice how much I want to be the girl that's more than just a friend. Being that is better than if I wasn't in the picture at all. So I just stay the quiet contender, and there isn't anything I want to or can do to change what you see and think. I'm just the quiet contender who dreams of you as being the one whose lips will one day kiss me, finally telling me what I'm worth. So I'm just the quiet contender who blinks to hold back what she thinks, the girl that never breathes a word about how she feels, hoping it stays that way, that you never notice what I think of you every time I see you in a room somewhere. Secret. Sometimes it's not good to keep too many of those. What do you do when you've been torn away from the people you miss? When you lost your place in the only family where you once thought you fit? You punch, scream, and cry as you swallow what's inside. Life is no high as you live with the burdens of the consequences. Every day you're just getting by, suffering the loneliness, being another outcast. Love doesn't die, no matter how many years pass by. There isn't a fair understanding of the cards that were dealt. Living doesn't mean anything when you believed you found everything you were looking for. You love enough to know to stay away, like a drowned rat on a rainy day. The hurt inside never goes away. When you've got a secret to tell, to fill in the blanks of a misunderstood history. Love the ones you call family as your words are told. They don't know what they're missing. You haven't been there for so long. It hurts less this way, when no one's any wiser over the sacrifice. Just wish them well as you move on in life. You pray for this point on. Life turns out right. Night after night. Sleep by day, streets by night. What a drive by sight, a courageous fight, doing it night after night. Jewel, fine hair. Furs, fine wear. Catch their prey, good job. Well done? Take money, walk away. Nothing to say for some. What happens to their bodies doesn't matter anymore anyway. Nothing anyone can say, it's just their way. Till for some, their dying day. Sleep by night, street Sleep by day, street by nights. What a drive-by sight. A courageous fight to be doing it night after night. Growing old, July 8th, 2008, this one says. I've been writing forever. I'm really young. I like indoor ice rinks and restaurants with a fireplace. Can't stand the damp or the cold that never leaves my bones. Too tired for their university, watching a zit grow on the back of my leg, eating oatmeal for breakfast alone. In the old days, you had sit-down family restaurants where people would go out as a treat like once a month. And places like A&W. Hey, Tom, you still have the A&W t-shirt? I like to take pictures in that. I'll wear my Atari shirt. I have Atari, you have A&W. So A&W was one of the restaurants that had these beautiful dim lit restaurants and these huge wire meshed encased fireplaces. Oh, I love sitting by those fireplaces in A&W at the tables, going slow, taking your time. Like the whole evening was going out. So you could be in the restaurant for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. Maybe you go see a drive-in or whatever. Those are the good days. The roller rinks, the video arcades, the drive-in theaters. Here in Canada, when I was growing up, we still had A&W drive-in restaurants. They bring out the food, you sit in your car and eat it. It's good. Okay, next one. Family incest. Emotional covert incest. It's the worst disease on the planet. It goes back to the beginning of time, and it's the hardest thing to ever lay convictions on, just like children abusing children, which is like a common thing all the time. If you ever watched the movie, if you haven't watched the movie Kids, watch it. Jungle Babies. Spank the Monkey. People should watch that too. And Starman. Not related to abuse, but it's related to what's inside people that you can't see on the outside. Hat. I remember lying there, feeling like death, as so many of us do, wanting to escape my body. I remember turning my head and staring at the white wall, my eyes burning through it with intensity, trying to get away. I couldn't stand to look at him, the expression on his face, and the message in his eyes, trying to escape from the feeling of him inside me. All my mind could see was you sitting alone in a half-lit room where I left you the night I wanted to climb on the couch, squeeze in behind you, wear you like a shield. Knowing then nothing could happen to me. Protection. I thought I was so close to landing, but in the end, protection I'd never be understanding, for it was right just then in what felt like the blink of an eye. There I was in a room I was unable to escape, face to face with his stranger, consumed by his rage and jealousy over you. I was dumb enough to hope that you might have known I was in trouble. There was nothing I could do as soon as he touched me. What I had hoped to know was gone. By then we had traveled too far, and I could no longer turn to your embrace, and you could no longer be the night of my dreams, or a witness in the story to my life's plight. And all the rest of the days I spent in silence as part of you and your family's life. I knew not to fight. That only makes things worse. They don't stop until they're done. The light in my life dwindled. My mind and heart felt sick, and I worsened in my dissociative disorder. I walked around blue, number, adding this to what I had already been through. I believed in your fairy tale. Love is blind. I was kind. I loved the family that I was surrounded in, and why needles became my best friend. I know better now when I think about what I could have been through, could have been saved from living through if you had been there when I returned, when part of me remembers wanting to tell. But would you have believed me the night I meant to be right back, the night I left the hat? It has taken me many years to learn how to fight to get well. And I know that even today, my journey is far from over as I confessed and contest to the history of family incest. Well, they weren't blood related, but they were like a street family, so it's the same thing. I mean, that still runs in family. I mean, you go from one sister to another sister, you don't marry the sister, make kids, it's, So, Dimes, July 8th, 2008. Dimes, born to live in a cold, dark place, to never hear the sound of your voice or see your beautiful face, where space and time is on hold, where there are dimes everywhere, dime bags, watching treatment unfold. Beautiful bowl. Muddy waters and stony bottoms of forest grounds that flood forever, building a monument where you can kneel to pray any time of the day, washing your hands and face and sprinkle your feet with water from a fountain in a beautiful bowl. That's it. I did actually get through the whole book in one video take, 1 hour. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to send some piece to one of those contests, America Got Talent, British Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, whatever. I'm going to send to Howie Mandel's Facebook page. I'm going to keep sending stuff out to people until somebody hears the help. Let's stop the violence. The answer was no. Let's do this campaign. I don't want to be raped anymore. I want to get out of Canada alive with my 16-year-old daughter. I don't want both of my kids to ever go through anything I've gone through. They shouldn't be under house arrest just to stay safe. Justice needs to happen, and we need to talk about crime to do that. So, peace out. Now TV Canada, Superwoman. Canada Superwoman. You want work with Future Productions, you got to contact me. So, see y'all. Send me headshots, resumes, any confessions or anything you want to support in this campaign of work, sharing your story. FutureProductionsOnline.com contact page and for things there. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for all the individual single stuff that's going to go up on Audible and other places in future touring dates and stuff when I get back to Vancouver in April. Bye. See you. Superman's flying off for the day.